We returned to the gun cutter, taking Bequin with us, but little new information. Save that the bonded merchant guild of Synesius may be worth questioning, and that the Pontius was a name with fatal consequences.
It's a common enough name in this subsector. I've turned up over 500,000 citizens with that forename. Another 200,000 with it as a middle name, plus another 40 or 50,000 spelling variants.
What about the definite article?
I have over 9,000 marks with that connection.
Pontius Glor.
Not on my lists.
Because he's dead?
Because he's dead. But it sort of makes sense.
Pontius Glor, the seventh son of Oberon Glor, a wastrel dilettante who fell into heresy, becoming an abominable disciple of chaos. For 15 long years he wrought discord and evil before being slain by the great Absalon Angevin. Gudrun was the ancestral home of the Glors. He may be dead, but the name and the connection were too obvious to ignore. Midas, find us passage to Gudrun.
That girl Bequin is waiting in your room.
The Arbite say they will charge me with murder and conspiracy.
Sit down. I can make sure the charges are dropped. I have that authority.
Why would you do that? Even if you clear me, I can't carry on here. I'll be marked as trouble. I'll have to move on again.
You're not from Hubris?
No. I was born on Bonaventure. Got here by way of this and that. I've travelled a lot. Never stayed put for very long.
Because things get difficult.
That's right. I'd stuck it out here longer than anywhere. Now that's all screwed up.
Stand up.
Make your mind up.
I want to ask you some questions about the men who employed you at Thorview 12011. If you answer helpfully, I can cut you a deal.
What sort of deal?
I can take you to Gudrun, or I can offer you employment if you're interested.
Employment? Even big bad Inquisitors have needs, huh? That's fine.
You misunderstand. The services I have in mind will be new to you. Not the sort of work you're accustomed to.
You're an odd one, all right. Are all Inquisitors like you?
No. Once Fischig returned Eichlon's possessions to us from the custodians, Loink and I prepared to conduct an autoseance. I did not expect to glean much from the process, but it was one of the first techniques I'd learned as an Inquisitor, and it was possible that this close inspection of the psychic residues would reveal something to us.
Ready to begin whenever you are, Master.
De Sumner. I hear De Sumner as a barely audible whisper. I can feel the aftertaste of his death. Do not touch it. It is cold. Colder than the ministrations of Dormant. Nothing but malice.
There was danger, vile danger, from the casket.
I felt it.
But the whole seance was unseemly, Master. As if distracted and spoiled by some factor.
I can explain. The girl we have aboard is an untouchable.
Keep her away from me.
Just prepping for takeoff. We'll be ready shortly.
We left the freezing world of hubris behind, taking Elizabeth and Fishik with us. Betancourt piloted the gun cutter up out of the atmosphere to the Essene awaiting above us in orbit. This vast bulk clipper was a trader, running cargoes of fine wine from Hesperus to Hubris. Tobias Maxilla, the ship's captain, had been recruited by Betancourt to get us to Gudrun in 2 weeks.
Tobias Maxilla, at your service.
You run this route regularly?
For the past few decades, it's seasonal. Semeta, Hesperus, Tracian, Hubris, Gudrun, sometimes to Messina too. When Dormant finishes on Hubris, there'll be a lot more work there.
So you know these routes well?
Yes, Chastener, I know them well.
I don't think we need to start interrogating Master Maxilla yet, Fishik.
It's a beautiful ship, Maxilla. Classic as old pattern, unless I'm mistaken. You are, of course, correct, Captain Betancourt. From the shipyards of Tancred, no less. Wait till you see the staterooms. I have quite the collection of beautiful artifacts. Even some portraits from the Samata School.
I must tell Amos, our savant. I'm sure he will be fascinated.
I will happily give him a tour once we are underway. One cannot pass up the opportunity of cultivated conversation. My entire crew is servitors, which makes them more reliable than pure flesh, but somewhat less loquacious.
Interesting. You don't trust humans?
Inquisitor! It is not a case of trust, simply one of dependability. The Imperium does not forgive mistakes.
The Essene left Hubris later that day, executed the translation to the Imperium effortlessly, and made best speed for Gudrun. Maxilla provided quarters for us all in his state apartments, but we spent most of our time on the cutter, working. By the 5th day, my sleep patterns had begun to return to normal. Cyclone stalked my dreams once more, leaving the after image of his grinning face each time I woke. At least I assumed it was his face. We translated back into real space and entered the Gudrun system on the morning of the 8th day. Here at the outreach of the system, we would pay our last respects to Loris Vibben. She had joined me in the first place to visit the stars, and that's where we would leave her.
Who was she?
A friend. A comrade.
Is this how she wanted to go?
I don't think she wanted to go at all. Bequin, there is something I have to tell you. I had been avoiding this conversation. She had no idea that she was an untouchable, a blank. Like all untouchables, her negative presence in the warp rendered her immune to psychic influence, which in turn made her a potent anti-psycho weapon. It also meant that she exuded an air of unpleasantness which rose to fear and revulsion in the psychically attuned. Her whole life had been shaped by this, and she had no idea. She did not take the news well. She knew now that her friendless, loveless existence was due to the fact that she was abnormal, and not surprisingly had little interest in the details of the job that I had in mind for her. In truth, I was relieved when Maxilla called me to the bridge.
Inquisitor?
Is there a problem?
I have performed legal maneuvers and entered the trade lane approach. All relevant data is in order and my tariffs are paid. But I've just been informed that we are to be boarded and inspected.
This is unusual?
It's been 10 years since anyone even suggested such a thing of my ship. I told you there was a founding festival underway. You can see considerable portions of Battlefleet Scarers on station. I think the military is being over-careful of its interests here just now. An inspection launch is on its way. I feel it would facilitate matters if they were met by a ship's master and an Imperial Inquisitor.
I'll agree to be present for the sake of order, provided you can assure me you have nothing to hide.
Inquisitor Eisenhorn,
Save your indignation for the inspection, Maxilla. Your assurance is all I require. If I assist you only to find you have some dirty secret or illicit cargo, you will have a great deal more to worry about than the Imperial Navy.
I have nothing to hide. I fancied you when I had become, if not friends, then decent acquaintances, at least this voyage. I have shown you hospitality, and freely given information into your confidence. I am hurt that you still suspect me.
Suspicion is my business, Maxilla. If I have wronged you, my apologies.
Nothing to hide.
Tobias Maxilla?
I am Maxilla.
You have been notified that an inspection of your vessel is due. Furnish me with crew lists and cargo manifests. Your full cooperation is expected.
You haven't yet identified yourself.
We're naval security.
You could be anybody. I am Gregor Eisenhorn, Imperial Inquisitor. We will do this correctly, or not at all.
You're Eisenhorn?
Having escaped from the boarding party, I found myself underneath the airlock. Maxilla.
Spread out. Don't let him escape.
Clamps had to be disabled.
Alpha 1, come in. What's going on?
Alpha 1 to command. All clear.
Come out, Eisenhorn. There's nowhere to run.
What are you doing here?
Alpha 1, come in. What's going on? Alpha 2, come in. What's your status?
Alpha 2 to command. No sighting.
Stay alert. He's here somewhere.
Sir, the retracted clamps have destroyed our ship. There's no escape.
Bravo 1, come in. Head to the bridge. We need to take control of this ship. Ready up, men. I'm not leaving till the Inquisitor is dead.
There was no way past the guards. I would have to tackle them head on.
You've made a huge mistake.
You're a mess. What the hell happened?
This wasn't an inspection. They were looking for me.
Naval security?
I don't think so. They lacked precision and didn't know procedure.
So my bare facts are revealed to you after all, Inquisitor.
What can I do to help you, Tobias?
I have summoned servitors to assist me. I'll be back on my feet soon enough.
I need access to your astropathic link. I need to contact Battlefleet Command and speed the closure of this matter. These men weren't a naval security detail.
There he is. Die, scum.
Give it up, Eisenhorn.
Deserters, sir.
Deserters?
From the guard levies. You are aware a founding is presently underway on Gudrun. By order of the Lord Militant Commander, 750,000 men are being inducted into the Imperial Guard to form the 50th Gudrunite Rifles. Such is the size of the founding, and the fact that this is notably the 50th regiment assembled from this illustrious world, that planet-wide celebrations are taking place.
And these men deserted?
The muster was originally to have been 500,000, but the Lord Militant Commander increased the figure a week prior to the founding. He's preparing for a crusade into the Ophidian subsector, and well, Many found themselves conscripted with little notice. Between you and me, the great festivities are partly an attempt to draw attention from the matter. There's been some rioting in barracks in the founding area, and desertion.
These are regular draftees? Infantrymen?
Yes.
Who could fly a pinnace?
The ringleader, one John O'Lingard, was a qualified orbital pilot. Worked on the ferries, as I said, a regrettable combination of events.
What about the demand for the inspection?
That came from the pinnace itself. Entirely unofficial, they spotted your ship and improvised.
I don't know who these men are. They may indeed have been guard draftees, but someone set them on this course to find me. Someone who covered their movements, provided materials and transport, and authenticated their business with this ship. Someone either in the battle fleet, or with an outrageous amount of access to its workings. No other explanation fits.
You're talking of a conspiracy?
I'm no stranger to underhand behavior, Madolthine. Nor am I unduly perturbed by attempts on my life, but this shows me my enemies are even more powerful than I suspected.
My lord, I
trust this matter is still held in the highest confidence.
Sir, yes, sir. The Lord Procurator recognized its delicacy. The details of this incident are known only to myself and my squad here, the Lord Procurator and his senior aides.
Then I'd like to keep it that way. I'd like my enemies to believe for as long as possible that this assassination attempt was successful. Can I rely on your cooperation, Prosecutor?
Of course, Inquisitor.
We left the Essene on the gun cutter bound for Gudrun's surface. Posing as a trade delegation from Sameter, we would meet with the Guild Synesius representative in Dorsey, the planet's northern capital. The ship which transported Iclone to Hubris was docked in the festive capital, and according to Maxilla, its master, Efreed Tanokbre, was planetside. Betancourt went off to investigate, leaving us to our rendezvous with the Guild Synesius representative at the Dorsey Regency.
Sire Farchival, madam, had I known you were visiting, I would have cancelled meets to be here. Forgive my tardiness.
I forgive it. I'll be straight with you, sir. I represent grain merchants on Hesperus, a significant cartel of grain merchants.
What sort of size cartel are we talking about, sire?
The entire western continent.
And you offer?
A gene-fixed strain of cereal that could be easily managed by many of your landowners now that their workforce is depleted. It is indeed a wonder.
The other guilds are bidding for this product, mister. I do hope Guild Synesius won't miss out.
Is this Xenos cultured?
Would that be a problem?
No, sire, not officially. The Inquisition is, of course, very tight about such things, but that is precisely why we offer these discreet interviews.
I'm pleased to hear it. So a Xenos-cultured cereal strain would not be hard to market?
Naturally not. There are collective enterprises eager for assured crop yields, especially those hothoused by alien technology.
Good, but I want the best return. Simon told me that House Glor should be the first to approach.
Simon?
Simon Croats, the Guild Synesius envoy I dealt with on Hesperus.
Quite so. You wish me to arrange a trade meeting with House Glor?
I think that's what I said, didn't I? What got into you?
You said we were moneyed merchants who expected the very best. I was just earning my salary.
Keep it up.